Hey guys, what's going on today? Just going to do a video here on the 2024 Husqvarna FE501S. Making a couple changes to this thing on tires and battery swap, and only have I think just over 200 miles on this thing, so finally getting used to it. Got out on the trails, and unfortunately the tires I put on here, these are the Motos, the Rals tire, 140 80 18, and overall on the pavement riding from my house, they've been pretty good. But then once I get out on the trails here, especially in the sand, they haven't been very good at all. They've been pretty squirrely, especially on the rear end, and having issues getting traction, and the back ends is all over the place. Also with the front end too, the front tire is not very stable and doesn't really grip that good since these knobs aren't very tall. So I wasn't really sure what I was going to expect when I first got this bike out, and how the terrain was going to be, or what the trails were going to be like, I guess depending where you go. But most of the places I've been riding have been like in washes, and mostly like loose over hard, but a lot of sand and rocks and stuff like that. So this tire hasn't been very good on it, so I took it off, and here I have, you can tell the difference in the knobs on it. These are a lot taller. This is the IRC M5B Evo soft terrain, meaning this is for soft terrain, which is good for mud and sand. And with these lugs, a lot of good for self-cleaning, so it should perform a lot better than the Motos here. And I measured the lugs on it. These are only like 10 millimeters tall in the center. This one is about 18 millimeters, these knobs tall, so these should be a lot better to dig into the sand and get traction. And also going up hills too, where I've had issues with the back tire just spinning on this thing, so this should hopefully improve. And I did run a Nitro Mousse Platinum in the rear, which is supposed to give it about a 12 to 13 psi feel. And as you can see here, I have a tube back in this tire. It was the first time using a mousse on the tire, and since I do ride it on the pavement, they don't recommend riding with those, since they can overheat. But I know there's a lot of people that still do it, as long as you're not, it says not to go over 70 miles an hour, which I was usually cruising about 60 on it. And I noticed once I got the back tire off, sorry if the sun's here, I'm using a Tusk alloy rim lock here. And once I got the back tire off, the mousse was missing a big chunk out of it, and there's pieces that were stuck up underneath that rim lock. So I'm thinking what happened, though, even though I checked the torque on the rim lock, that it was, torqued down pretty good, that the rear tire must have spun on the rim, because there was a couple times where I was really having to give a lot of throttle to get through the sand, and I'm thinking maybe the tire spun on the rim and then caused that mousse to get a chunk taken out of it from that rim lock. So I'm gonna go back and try a heavy duty tube in the rear. I am running a heavy duty tube in the front with a rim lock as well, but the rear is more of a priority to get that figured out. So I'm gonna do that. And then also I noticed the rear fender here with that Motos was rubbing on it. That's also because I went from a 50 to a 52, or I'm sorry, I went from a 48, which is the OEM tooth count for the rear sprocket, and then I went up to a 50, which does help with more low end on it. And I had, when I built this bike up, the chain, I did cut it for the 48 tooth sprocket. So now with these knobs being quite a bit taller, I have a feeling it's going to rub even more on that fender. So I'm just going to order a new chain since I only have 200 miles. Sprockets are good. And this so I can add about 2 links into the chain. And then I should be good with that and no rubbing issues. I do have a front tire on the way as well. I was having a hard time trying to decide what tire I wanted to go with. But as you can see, this tire doesn't really have that very tall of knobs on it either, and hardly any wear on this at all. But I ordered a golden tire, the GT216AA. They call it the Fatty. See a lot of people recommend that for the front, especially in desert riding. They said it has really good grip on it, keeps the front end stable. So that's on back order. It's going to be a couple weeks before I get it in. So I'm just going to get the back tire done for now. And also have a new battery. I got the Shoray lithium battery. The OEM batteries on these bikes are pretty much garbage, and I see where they fail a lot, and I don't want to be out in the middle of the desert somewhere and get stranded. Even though I do have this capacitor installed from Takomoto, so I can bump start it and wouldn't have any issues, but I still don't want to deal with a dead battery. So the battery is currently on the lithium charger over there right now, so I'll get that done. And then also my bike is part of the recall that went out for the front brake tech calipers. There's some kind of a casting flaw or casting issue with them, which is something to do like back in here and then down here. I haven't been very impressed with these brakes to begin with. They just don't seem like the stopping power is that great. So I ordered a Brembo OEM caliper from a KTM from a previous year. It's a direct fit with the bracket that comes with the caliper, and then the banjo on the Brembo is pretty much exactly in the same spot, so everything should just bolt back up, and put the brake line on that, and then put some new brake fluid in, bleed it out. And then I also ordered some aftermarket sintered brake pads for the caliper, so that should help with stopping power on the front. And then also another project is that I ordered all new OEM plastics for it in this electric yellow, it's called. So I already got the front fender on, the headlight mask, and then the rest of the bike I'll do at another time. I do have a whole brand new graphics kit coming from SKDA. It's a company in Australia. So just tired of this thing that's looking plain without anything on it, so I'll do a whole new graphics kit on it and get all this other stuff done. I also have this pretty sweet tire machine I bought here from Rocky Mountain ATV. It's a Neutron, and this thing's a lifesaver coming to change tires, because as you all know, it's a pain in the ass to change these dirt bike tires and get them on and off. And it's not too bad once you get the hang of it, along with the Tusk tire levers here really work good. And yeah, I'm gonna get this back tire installed on now, and get the rest of the stuff done on this bike, and then see how everything is. If you have any questions, let me know.